A successful mentoring relationship will move through 4 stages. Though the time spent in each one of these areas will differ from relationship to relationship, the progression is unvarying. The stages are: Stage 1, get acquainted. Stage 2, establish expectations and set goals. Stage 3, acceptance and growth. Stage 4, closure to the relationship. During the get acquainted stage, the mentor and the mentee become acquainted and informally clarify their common interests, shared values, and future goals. In this stage, there may be a lack of communication or difficulty in communicating. Mentees may question the mentor's commitment, be reluctant to trust mentors, and attempt to manipulate the mentor. The youth may be unsure whether the feelings and information they disclose to the mentor will remain confidential. Early in the relationship, the mentor must provide reassurance of privacy. If there is a threat of physical harm to the mentee or to others, the mentor must break confidentiality to seek protection for the endangered person. Mentors should be aware of the fact that the relationship may remain in the get acquainted stage from 1 to 6 meetings. In Stage 2, establish expectations and set goals. The mentor and the mentees communicate initial expectations and agree upon some common procedures as a starting point. During this stage, there will be more listening, sharing, and confiding procedures as a starting point. During this stage, there will be more listening, sharing, and confiding in one another. Values will be compared depending on the frequency of the visits. In the third stage, acceptance, the mentor and the mentees begin to accomplish the objectives they created for themselves in the previous stage. Gradually, mutual respect is established, needs are fulfilled, and growth occurs. It's also very likely that new challenges will be presented and conquered during this stage. During the final stage, closure to the relationship, the mentor and the mentees end their mentoring association and redefine their relationship. Let's take a closer look at each of these stages, starting with Stage 1, getting acquainted. Prior to this stage, the mentor program coordinator will ensure you are properly prepared to meet your mentees for the first time. The coordinator will then arrange a structured first meeting between you and your mentees. This initial meeting should have clear goals and activities that will help the relationship get off to a good start. There is no specific formula for creating a successful mentoring relationship. Some individuals are attracted to opposites. Others are attracted to those with similar interests, styles, and backgrounds. The transition from Stage 1 to Stage 2 is when you begin to develop a rapport with your mentees, establish mutual respect, and build trust. This process occurs over a period of weeks, sometimes months. You must take the time to help your mentees identify the personal, social, and educational goals they want to accomplish. Break them down into small steps and explore ways of helping the mentees reach these goals. Each month, you and your mentee will assess progress, chart results, and reaffirm the value of agreed upon goals. To further ensure your mentee's success, you should work with them to ensure the goals they develop are conceivable, measurable, believable, achievable, controllable, desirable, stated with no alternative, conducive to growth. The goal should never be destructive to the mentees, others, or society. Throughout stages 2 and 3, you will need to provide constructive feedback to your mentees on goal progression. The mentees themselves should have an opportunity to reflect on their actions and, when possible, be given written feedback to review. You should note your observations in a positive, constructive manner and describe any actions taken by your mentees in connection to the established goals. Later, you and your mentees can review the observations and determine next steps. Later, you and your mentees can review the observations and determine next steps. The mentor's trustworthiness and commitment adults have repeatedly disappointed them. During the testing period, you may experience such things as missed appointments, phone calls not returned, unreasonable requests, angry or sullen behavior. You should keep in mind that your mentees are just protecting themselves from disappointment. From their perspective, not having a relationship at all seems better than trusting and subsequently losing someone. Once you gain your mentees' trust, the real work of the relationship can begin. You and your mentees should find ways to recognize and reward one another for each level of accomplishment, since recognition is one of the 5 key elements for positive youth development. Sometimes uncontrollable things happen, such as a job relocation or a sickness, and the mentor must withdraw from the mentoring relationship prematurely. If such an event occurs during your mentoring relationship, you need to talk to the program coordinator and discuss the best way to end the relationship and ensure consistent adherence to club policies and procedures. The decision to end a mentoring relationship should not be taken lightly. You could do substantial harm if you enter a young person's life, build trust, and then abandon the relationship. Be honest with yourself when committing to be a mentor. If you aren't sure about in-depth mentoring, try one of the many shorter-term alternatives, such as tutoring or one-time projects. Closure to the relationship is the final stage of the mentoring relationship. The closure process is particularly important because it serves as a model for future healthy relationship endings. Chances are that some of the mentees have already been let down by adults in their life, and the inherent value of your relationship is that it provides them with something they have been lacking: a stable, caring adult presence. For this reason, you should take great care to offer support and provide context to your mentees when matches are ending. Because many of the youth in the program come from difficult situations, they may naturally feel a sense of abandonment at the conclusion of the mentoring term. For this reason, they must know that the relationship is changing, not because it was unsuccessful, but because they have succeeded and it is time for them to pursue goals in a different way. Building a relationship with your mentees can be a challenging yet extremely rewarding experience. Progress may be slow, and you and your mentee may face obstacles during certain stages. Hang in there. With some time, patience, and work, you will make a real difference in your mentees' lives.